Hey everyone, today we're going to learn about a glossary in Moodle. So a glossary is a tool that you can add in Moodle that you can have as an activity for your students to do. It's a really neat tool in that it basically compiles all the entries that your students post into one big document that students can even print or download to use in your course or even in future courses. And as students compile it themselves, then it's something that they are also learning from as well. I have an example of one. This was done in one of our instructional design and performance technology courses. And she has the students put entries in this glossary that talk about the terms that they're learning or different trends or things that are related to instructional design. They would just enter the entry in here, and it would organize it based on the first letter of the first entry. So this one was a 1, so this was under the special characters because it wasn't under that any of the A's are listed in here. And it will list all of these different toasts. And so you can see that the students have toasted links. Sometimes they toast documents. They can write their own comments on it and good keywords for easy searching. So this is just something that is compiled. It's created by the students for the students. And it's just a really neat tool that is used in Moodle. It can be a little bit more challenging to set up, but it's not super hard. So we're just going to go through that today. You can also organize things by date. If you want to see the latest things that was posted, then you can organize it by date or by category if you set that up. You can also create this as an instructor for your students, and you can add your own entries as well. I think it's a cool tool to use to have the students do it themselves. And then again, if they want to export or print it, then they can to use it in the future. It's a cool, neat tool. So we're going to walk through how to set it up right now. So this is my sandbox, and I have the editing mode on. Then I'm going to click add an activity or resource. And then I'll go to glossary. And I'll just give it a name. And then give my directions here. If I want that to display, I can. Don't click this unless you want it to be available in multiple courses. Just leave this unchecked and leave this as the secondary glossary. That's perfectly fine. You will want to come under the entries button and kind of organize these different settings the way that you're wanting them. So if you don't want to have to approve your student's toast, then you would just leave that as yes. But if you're wanting to approve it before it becomes public, then you want to make sure that you check no. Right now, the students can edit. If they toast, they can edit within 30 minutes of their toasting. They have the ability to edit. But if you want them to always be able to edit, then you would come in here and select yes. If you only want one entry that is named the same thing, then you would just keep this as no. But if you are going to allow for multiple entries and duplicate entries on the same name, then you can click yes here. If you want your students to be able to comment on their own or their other peers' submissions, then you can click yes, it's able to comment. And then this is a cool piece where if it's selected yes, that it will automatically link wherever it finds that word, that entry in your Moodle shell. It will link it back to this glossary term. So that's something. So that's nice to keep that checked as yes. You can edit the appearance. There's different styles and ways that you can set up your glossary. So the one that we had, it was the full version, but there was no author. But you can also have it set up where it's just this title showing on a page, and then students would have to click into it and then find the full version. You can set it up as an encyclopedia or just a continuous list without breaks with the letters. You can set it up that way, or is it FAQ, or like a Q&A kind of set up that way. You can find more about these if you click on this green question mark right here. Keep this as default. If you want more entries shown than 10 on a single page, then you can edit that. This will give you the alphabet links, the all and the special links. So these are the alphabet links if you want these to show. This one will give them the option to select all of them rather than just one single letter at a time. And this special has the ability to have things grouped as numbers and special characters. And then again, if you want them to be able to print it, you can select that here. If you want it to be set up for a grade, then you can make sure that you have your grading set up this way. This is just the normal way of ratings for the grade book. So not too difficult to set up. I'm sure you guys are all familiar with that. If you need more help with setting up grade books, then you can watch one of our other tutorials. I'm going to select no ratings for this. And then again, these are just some normal basic settings within our course. And I'll click Save and Display. So you can see that this is the test glossary that I set up. And there's no toast, no entries yet. This sets up the framework for our glossary. So as a student, if I would come in, I would click Add an Entry. And then I would be able to type my entry title and the description. I could add links. I could add keywords as I wanted. Then I would click Save Changes, and it would show up. And this is our entry for test. It's also under the T section. As I click the T, then this will show me that this is where that is. As a student, I can edit it for 30 minutes right now, or I can also trash it. If I want to add comments or view other people's comments, I can click that on there because I had set it up that way in the settings. So this is the glossary. It's pretty simple, but it's a pretty cool tool. So again, just add an activity resource, glossary, and set it all up. If you have any questions as you go through this, reach out to CTLD, and we're more than happy to help.